Connecticut in blue. Sarah Strong in right away. Out of the corner. Rebound to Xavier for Noel. Transfer from Ole Miss, played in 39 games. A program that won a bunch of games the last couple of years. Gibbons steps through. Rebounded by Sarah Williams.
Yeah, Gibbons getting her second start of the season. Really has been a spark and an offensive weapon.
Three rattles out from Ashlyn Shade. Ball loose underneath and out of bounds. It stays at this end with the Huskies. Billy Chambers, the third-year head coach of the Xavier Musketeers. Obviously a challenging couple of years, Ice, but reasons to think that there's been a step forward so far this year.
Yeah, I believe in Billy Chambers. I think every year this team has gotten better. She's recruited better, been able to really expand her roster, and she's got the formula. She's got to bring in the talent to match.
KK Arnold off the heel. Long rebound, corralled by Mackenzie Gibbons.
Nice box out by Gibbons. Huskies have gotten a couple open looks from three, just not able to knock it down.
Noel working on Fudd. Shuffled her feet and a travel.
Great on-ball defense by AZ Fudd. Just beat Noel to the spot and forced the travel.
Gino Auriemma's Huskies had Thanksgiving week off, a rarity for them. Didn't go to any exotic location for an MTE or other tournament event. Fudd for three. Lid on the basket for the Huskies in the early going.
And expect to see Xavier run a lot of zone. Good dribble by Noel to get out of defense.
Inside, Canerva into trouble. Petra Morilova lost the handle. Canerva to the rim. Rebound Strong. Two minutes gone by, still nothing on the scoreboard. And a turnover for UConn. Shade stepped on the sideline.
Yeah, a few early defensive stops for Xavier that must give them some confidence. And expect them to mix up defenses a lot today. See a couple different versions of zone. Really want to challenge the Huskies to see if they can just stifle their offense a little bit. Make them hesitate before shooting that open shot.
UConn has started 0 for 5, all 5 of them three-point attempts.
Yeah, again, that's the symptom of the zone. You're open from distance.
Looking for the back cut of Canerva, is stolen by Arnold. Strong ahead of the pack and has the opening bucket.
And Arnold, such a heady point guard, gets the steal, immediately gets her head up, and we're seeing the full court pressure from the Huskies.
And a 5-second violation. Turnover Xavier, the third already for the Musketeers.
I feel like anytime someone is playing Connecticut, handling pressure has to be a key to the game.
Fudd finally gets one to go. Five straight misses for UConn to open the game, but back-to-back buckets and a steal for Strong, who's fouled by Martinez Lopez.
Good job by Sarah Strong to blow up the handoff action. Then here's a three from Fudd, and that's way too much time and space for the nation's best shooter.
55% from three coming in.
And that's not like oh, it's 6 games into the season and she's been hot. She is a 50% three-point shooter. She has that ability.
Canerva through traffic and a foul. Goes against Sarah Williams, transfer from Wisconsin. Still kind of finding her footing as a Husky.
Well, and I like the drag screen action here, a little bit in transition. Canerva trying to get downhill. Gets trapped between two Huskies.
Williams, a two-time first-team All-Big Ten selection as a Badger. League's Defensive Player of the Year a couple of seasons ago. Noel is denied, but a foul on AZ Fudd.
Noel going one-on-one against Fudd. Just to a little hop step. Yeah, I think Fudd definitely made contact with the hands coming down.
So Noel will be at the free throw line where she has shot 80% already this year. And she shoots a lot of free throws. Nearly 6 per game in the early going this year.
Yeah, that's the first thing that actually stood out to me looking on the stat sheet for her game. It's just she really forces the issue in terms of initiating that physicality and then being able to score through contact.
First two for Xavier took nearly 3.5 minutes. Underneath, easy layup for Williams off the bounce pass feed from Ashlyn Shade.
And that was transition offense off of a made basket. How quickly the Huskies get down the floor.
Noel on the pull-up. Rebound Strong. Sarah Strong lost the handle, regathers. Left alone. 4-3.
She is so good, plays so composed.
5 points, couple of rebounds for Strong early. Stuffing the stat sheet this year, as she often does. And a turnover, Audia Young stepped on the sideline, the transfer from Auburn. Go back a couple of UConn buckets ago to the pass by Ashlyn Shade. UConn starting to get more comfortable with that ball movement. Shade underneath. This time goes up herself and she's fouled. But that's one thing that jumps out, speaking of stat sheets about Connecticut, is just how many assists they pile on.
Oh, man. I mean, this team passes the ball so efficiently. They pass up good shots for great shots, and that's consistent. Every time down the floor, they are working to get a great high percentage look. That time it was Shade inside.
Big East 6th Woman of the Year a season ago. That was her first made free throw of the year. 1 for 2 now. Speaking of Noel getting to the free throw line a lot, UConn is a great free throw shooting team. 85.5% coming in, 4th best in the country, but they shoot very, very few. In fact, the 4th fewest free throw attempts per game on average of any team in Division I.
And I would think that's maybe because of how they've been shooting it on the outside. KK Arnold, though, the pressure on ball. And that's perhaps one of my favorite aspects of KK's game is that she lights up defensively when she's able to pressure a point guard one-on-one. It's like a shark smelling blood in the water. She is ready to force a turnover.
Long one, well off the mark from Vivian Naismith, the sophomore Croatian. Allie Ziabell off the heel. Rebound batted out. Arnold quickly over to Fudd, who thought about it. Attacks. Pass loose, grabbed by Kaderva, and Xavier on the run. Young pulls up for 3. Too strong. Offensive rebound, Naismith. Young again. Naismith again. Steal by Strong. She can coast home. A 14-2 lead for UConn in the early going. Xavier still does not have a field goal, and Sarah Strong is getting comfortable.
The Huskies knocking down shots from the outside. Strong left with too much daylight. Drains a triple. And then the defense, the steal. The 2 in transition. Huskies on the run early. Great name that comes out of UConn women's basketball.
Big East preseason player of the year. pass is trouble, but a foul near midcourt committed by Blanca Quiñones, the true freshman from Ecuador. So UConn started 0 for 5. Those were all threes, 5 out of 7 since.
Quiñones picks up the foul. Tried to get the deflection, but didn't have the right angle around the defender.
Noel has the only 2 points for Xavier.
Yeah, they've got to get more ball and player movement. The ball sticking in the middle of the court for a few seconds is not what you want against UConn.
Tough pull-up. Noel couldn't get it. Quiñones the rebound.
I like that pull-up for Noel, though. That's her spot. She can make that at a high clip.
Haley Heckel, the transfer from Southern Cal, off the bench. Quiñones curls to the rim. Contact. And 2 shots coming for Connecticut. Blocking foul on Noel.
The Huskies worked on this action and shoot around. Quiñones coming off the curl, gets right in the middle of the paint. Noel is there. Maybe not enough space.
So Blanca Quiñones at the line. Back-to-back Big East Freshman of the Week honoree. Her first free throw miss as a collegiate player. She had been 4 out of 4, but she's coming off a couple of great outings. Back-to-back 20-point games, including a career-high 21 against Utah on Sunday on only 11 attempts from the field.
I asked Coach Auriemma how he would describe the potential for Blanca. He said unlimited, and she is, I believe, that good. Wow, look how far the Musketeers are catching the ball from their basket. Just a high-pressure defense from the Huskies.
Noel draws a switch on Quiñones. Feeds it underneath for a cutting Givens. The first field goal for Xavier.
That was a beautiful cut and an even better finish from Givens.
Strong to a cutting Ziabell. She is fouled by Canerva.
And you see Givens on the right of your screen, cuts across to the left, shields the ball away from the defender, and then finishes with the left hand over Strong. That was tough.
Ziabell 3 out of 5 at the line now this year. Had her first double-digit scoring game of the season Sunday against Utah in a 52-point win for the Huskies. They were up 32-8 on the Utes after the first quarter. Another turnover by Xavier. The 7th Xavier turnover of this first period. Heckel on the pull-up for 2.
Love that shot from Heckel. It's 2 dribbles off the handoff, gets right into the heart of the defense, pulls up at the elbow.
Big Ten regular season champion last year at USC. Back down by Naismith. Kick out Givens. 4-3. 5 quick ones for Mackenzie Givens, sophomore from here in Cincinnati, who's coming to life offensively.
Yeah, and that's great offense for Xavier. Inside out play. Draw the defense in, find the shooter on the outside.
Ziabell into Canerva and an offensive foul.
And Canerva described as the best defender on this squad by head coach Billy Chambers. Just beats Ziabell to the spot. And Chargers are those little momentum plays, right? You see the bench get into it, sacrificing your body for your team.
Took Xavier a long time to get a field goal in this game, but Givens is getting hot. Rims out. Offensive rebound, Naismith. She's had a few in this first quarter, and she is fouled.
Yeah,
That's the 5th.
I like the activity that Naismith is bringing on the offensive glass. So way to get your team extra possessions and to force the Huskies to play defense longer than they want to.
And you would think with the way Xavier has struggled to get clean looks that any trip to the foul line is a good one.
Absolutely.
Naismith is 4 out of 4 at the line so far this season. Getting a lot more time in the early going than she did last year. Billy Chambers said she's been really happy to see her step up. Said she made big strides in the weight room in particular. Battles really hard down there in the post.
Yeah, and a bit undersized as well, like only 6 foot, but I think her presence feels bigger, especially with her presence on the glass.
She has 4 rebounds. That leads all players on the floor, and she's given up plenty of inches down low to the Huskies. And a foul away for the ball goes on Sarah Williams battling the post. Or was it, in fact, on the screen? It's Quinones who picks up the foul, her second in the first quarter.
Yeah, I think it was on the rub screen. She wanted to kind of give a blur action, but then watch as she continues to move and runs into Noel. Good call by the refs.
Minerva attacks. Kick out. Good look. Off the heel and over out of bounds off the right hand of Igborolova.
And I tell you what, despite that not going in, that is great offense. I mean, Minerva gets deep into the paint, draws 2 defenders, finds an open shooter on the perimeter. Can't ask for a better look than that.
Bud on the pull-up. Left it short. Weak side rebound loose. Corralled by the Musketeers. They're on a 7-4 run since the timeout. Noel draws a second offender. Lost the handle to Williams. A late whistle and a foul. And it's going against Connecticut. Or is it the point was toward UConn and you heard a what from the Connecticut huddle, but now we're walking down to the other end.
Yeah, so Noel here gets too deep into the paint. 2 defenders help. And I think maybe there was a push called on Noel. Williams was going to pick up the loose ball.
Noel does indeed pick up the foul, her second.
And that's a dangerous time for Noel to pick up a second foul, especially only in the first quarter. I mean, she is integral to the success of this team.
And another Xavier turnover. We've said that already 9 times in this first quarter. Chance for UConn to go 2 for 1 here. Back cut by Fudd, sets up KK Arnold. 4-3.
Really nice momentum offense for the Huskies. KK Arnold has improved on her 3-point shooting over the years at UConn.
The officials, I think, just clarifying the clock here. And they're going to add about 1.5 seconds. 32.3 seconds. So Xavier can run it down, but shot clock still on. That extended UConn defense always harassing. Noel couldn't bring in the pass. Arnold on the run out. Arnold lost the handle. 10 seconds. Noel, Minerva saves it. Still in. Arnold, 2 seconds and 1. Arnold, good if it goes. Off the front iron. A turnover-laden opening quarter, and UConn has built a 13-point advantage after 10 minutes.
In the UConn offense, the ball movement impeccable. KK, catch and shoot, knockdown. Huskies up early on the road.
Your head coach of the Musketeers instructing her Xavier team, and you know, one of the things that we're going to talk about as this game goes on is the bright spots that Xavier's looking for, especially in this game, but even generally in this non-conference season, now into the Big East. As the Musketeers try to make progress off that 1-17 Big East schedule last year. A strip out of bounds, last touched by Xavier, so another turnover. Musketeers had 11 of those in the opening quarter. Connecticut in the end shot 44% from the field in that first quarter, including 3 3-pointers. Started 0 for 5 from the field. All of them were from deep. Lob underneath, stolen by Noel. And she is fouled by KK Arnold in transition.
Fouls on Yukon number 2, KK Arnold will serve first. Team's first for the quarter.
Canerva gets the high screen from Penda Jang. On the drive, Naismith for 2. 4 points for Naismith. On the pull-up. Ashlyn Shade misses, but a foul on the rebound. Sarah Williams secured it, and she was fouled.
Yeah, Williams working really hard on the boards, bringing that level of physicality.
Bud, way too open. Hazy Bud again.
Her trigger is just so quick. I mean, if you are not there on the catch, you are just late.
UConn defense right on Canerva, nearly saved by Arnold, and she took a hard hit in the right side. KK Arnold went into the courtside seats and took a hit to her right side, but she is up on her feet. Seems to be okay.
And Arnold trying to save this ball before it goes out of bounds. Oh yeah, it just gets to that right hip area. Certainly glad to see she's all right.
Noel turns the corner on Bud. Scoop layup, no, but a foul.
Again, Noel so good at getting to the free throw line. Watch here, she cuts the angle on Fudd. Gets the extension. Maybe contact on the body, as Williams, I felt like, jumped into her as she was going up for the layup.
Noel now 3 out of 3 at the free throw line. Has been in double figures in every game this year. Rebound Fudd. Arnold to the corner. Ashlyn Shade for 3.
Making a simple pass is Arnold, and then a good sign for Ashlyn Shade. Knocking down a shot from the corner.
Naismith on the block. Tough feed underneath for Zhang, who's blocked. Keep it down here.
Tell you what, Naismith coming in the game and bringing a little something with her. But here on the other side for the Huskies. And this is just beautiful transition offense. Off the rebound, Fudd needs a couple of dribbles. Arnold gets her head up and then finds a shooter. Shade ready to knock it down.
Remember, UConn started with 5 straight misses from three-point range. Since then, the Huskies have made 5 out of 8. Noel contested. Zhang, after the offensive glass, couldn't save it. Xavier has been hungry for those offensive boards, though, and that's something that Billy Chambers emphasized.
Well, when the Huskies, such a good team in transition, The easiest way to stop a team in transition is to get the offensive boards and force them to rebound and defend a little bit longer. So I like the intention on the glass from the Musketeers.
Bud has a couple of threes so far. Minerva got there quickly enough. Arnold left open. Offensive rebound. Ashlyn Shade. Williams got low position, but wave off the shot 3 seconds before she could put it up. Gino Oriema does not agree.
Yeah, it must have been 3 seconds right before she caught the ball. It must have been.
And Xavier turns it back over, so in the end it's moved. Fun off the
Gino
inbound.
was arguing that since she caught it, it should have been, you know, reset. Yeah. Their baseline out of bounds execution, especially when it's setting up Fudd for a three, is terrific.
9 points for Fudd now, all from beyond the three-point line. She averages a Big East leading 21 this year. Here's Arnold, gets by Minerva for two.
Isn't KK so fun to watch?
Xavier's having a tough time just getting even close to half court, let alone over half court. Another one. Ashlyn Shade out of that same left corner. She's making a home over there, and UConn's largest lead is at 24 already.
Yeah, the Huskies just getting everything they want offensively. How about the baseline pass from Strong? The knockdown from Shade, a 14-1 run from the team from Connecticut.
Leads the all-time series 9-0 and has dominated it. In fact, the last time they played, last January in Hartford, UConn won the game 81-27. Musketeers in the last few minutes haven't even been able to set up their offense very often.
Yeah, it feels like the Huskies picked up their pressure. It's all about staying composed and making quick decisions versus the pressure. You have to attack pressure with pressure. And a little too much east to west early from the Musketeers.
Mackenzie Gibbons. Noel had it poked out of her hands from behind by the opportunistic Kaylee Heckel.
Yeah, I love Heckel's defense. She's such a presence.
You know who else loves Heckel's defense? Gino Oriema.
Yeah, for sure. I remember talking to him back at Big East Media Day and asking about Heckel, who was a big transfer coming from USC. Oh, a good find underneath. And Gibbons gets another two in the paint. Oh yeah, he said Kaylee Heckel has really come alive with her defense, her presence, getting steals and passing lanes. When her and KK Arnold are on the floor together, you can just feel the defensive pressure go up for the Huskies.
And Heckel takes the feed from Sarah Strong.
Yeah, a crafty player as well, plays with a really high IQ.
Another Xavier three. This one goes down. Petra Oborlova, the Slovakian senior.
And back-to-back assists for Minerva. Love how she's handling the pressure, getting a little bit more into the paint, and then finding either someone underneath or a shooter.
Quiñones into the corner, and another three for Ashlyn Shade. She has struggled with her three-point stroke so far this year, 21%. Coming into this game, Gino said she's getting good looks, she's shooting fine in practice, the percentages will even out. He didn't have to wait very long.
Not at all. I mean, she's had 3 wide open catch and shoot threes in the corner. And as a shooter, the corner is that sweet spot.
She's 3 out of 5 from 3, 11 points. Noel wanted a foul, Quiñones corrals it. Why not again? Why not again? Ashlyn Shade on fire in Cincinnati. She's out of Noblesville in the northern Indianapolis suburbs, just a couple of hours away from the Cintas Center. And she's feeling right at home. Leah Smith inside, couldn't get it. Strong on the rebound. Quiñones is fouled.
A lot of contact on that take. Oborilova realizes she couldn't beat her to the spot. Gives her a nudge.
A little more than a
contact.
nudge.
Yeah, that's a lot of contact.
Shade to trigger. Gets it back from Quiñones. Too strong. Offensive rebound, Sarah Strong. She'll try a three. AZ Fudd tracks it down. A third chance for Connecticut.
Yeah, Given so focused on making sure Fudd didn't crash the board. She didn't turn to find the ball.
Another miss by Shade, and Xavier on the run. Canerva goes right into Quiñones. Couldn't get the layup. And the rebound caroms out to Shade. Good cut. Quiñones lowers her shoulder, and Noel takes a charge. Billy Chambers wants that to be part of Xavier's identity, and she'll be really pleased to see her leading scorer, the third leading scorer in the Big East, putting her body on the line.
Absolutely. And Noel, a transfer from Ole Miss, knows all about that defense. Yeah, right place, right time. The restricted area in the women's game is not in effect in the game, and so she can stand underneath the cylinder. Good job by Noel to be there on time.
That's 3 fouls on Blanca Quiñones. Underneath, Givens again. She has 9 of Xavier's 19.
Yeah, I like Mackenzie's game. She told me last year that when she finished the end of their season, she worked spring, summer, and fall on her shot, perfecting her shot, getting in the mid-range. But what you can see is she is a 3-level scorer. She can do a little bit of everything.
Canerva might have been tipped. And indeed, there's going to be an overturn here on the call. Initially, basketball was given to UConn, but it's going to stay at this end. KK Arnold returns for Connecticut. And look at her take charge of that huddle. That's something Gino Auriemma said, is they're still looking for that vocal leader. Paige was vocal and vibrant in everything she did. Paige Beckers, of course, now with Dallas, the #1 pick in the WNBA draft. Difficult to replace on the court, but difficult to replace for her leadership, too. He sees KK Arnold as someone who can grow into that role.
Yeah, I mean, she's the point guard on this team. I believe someone that establishes the tone defensively. How about the skip and knockdown? Naismith. She's had really great minutes in this first half.
Naismith just 17 appearances last year, barely 1 point per game. She's expanded her role and her production so far this year. Fouled away from the basketball against Xavier. Only the third on the Musketeers in his second quarter. Here's that skip pass again.
And again, a nice assist from Canerva. See the cross-court pass, gets deep into the paint, delivers it to the shooter in her hands. So all she has to do is put it up.
To your point, that's 3 assists for Canerva this first half.
Yeah, I've liked her facilitating. I mean, it's obviously tough playing against Huskies pressure, but she's done a good job of finding open teammates. Oh, the stop, the turn, and the finish from Arnold. That's pretty.
Speaking of assists, that's only the 3rd unassisted basket for UConn this entire first half. 13 assists on 16 made field goals. Of course, it doesn't hurt to force 17 turnovers. AZ Fudd's 3 rims out. Noel, Euro, fouled by Fudd. That's her second.
Yeah, Noel is so good when she's able to get the defensive rebound because she can initiate and start the offense right away. She thrives in the open court. And anytime if you're Xavier, you have a situation 1-on-1, 2-on-2 in transition, you should look to attack. See if you can get to the free throw line or get a high percentage look.
So Noel back at the free throw line where she has made 3 out of 4 so far in the game. Coming up on the Jeep halftime report, stats and analysis of our game and some top women's players from around the country on Kim Adams' Player of the Year watch list. Mike Hill, Kim Adams with you at the break.
Yeah, Kim, my Big East girlie, knows all about the national coverage. We got some star players that are making a name for themselves early this season. Can't wait to see where her list is.
Ziabell, too strong on the three. Kim's pulling double duty because then she's going to have UCLA and Tennessee coming up for Pauley Pavilion with Elise Woodward. That's going to be following us right here on FS1. A big game, battle of the Big Ten of the SEC.
A good day of women's hoops on FS1. That is going to be a battle.
Noel comes to get it. Cut off by the hedge. Good entry. Naismith turns and scores.
I'm telling you, she's working today. Naismith said, I'm going to get in the game and make an impact for my team. And a beautiful dime from Noel, and then the seal from Naismith.
9 points. That almost doubles her season average coming in.
I love it. What more confidence do you need than going up against the best team in the country and showing that you can do a little something?
Ziabell, another one. This time it goes down.
Yeah, that's her game. She was one of the best snipers in the country coming out of high school.
Xavier has to hurry. They're not going to get this anywhere close to the rim. Strong can't get it up. Xavier went to inbound that basketball with 10 seconds left, and they never got it outside of their own three-point line. At the half, number 1 Connecticut with a 24-point lead, looking for a 23rd straight win. We'll return to the arena for stats and analysis after this break. 4.8 the year coming in, and from Mackenzie Gibbons, who is coming off back-to-back 20-point games and on that pace or thereabouts again today. First of a quick 2-game road trip for the Huskies, who will go straight from Cincinnati down to Tampa, returning to the scene of their national title just a handful of months ago. Fun, very deep three, her court.
Yeah, execution at a high level for the Huskies. Ran that to perfection, and a good screen leaves AZ Fudd open.
UConn will face South Florida Tuesday night in Tampa. Of course, it's an odd season for South Florida with the departure of Jose Fernandez so close to the year for the WNBA. Canerva lost it underneath, and it's the 19th Xavier turnover.
Yeah, we're seeing more of those trends, right, in the WNBA. A lot of coaches, longtime college coaches, transitioning to the W. See the screen set by Williams. Gives Fudd time and space to knock it down.
Speaking of transitions to the W, not going to be a long time now.
You know what I'm saying. AZ Fudd projected to be a top 5 WNBA draft pick. And she is certainly an attractive pickup to tons of teams in the W. I mean, her shooting ability, over 50% from 3 currently. The way that she can score at all 3 levels. And just the maturity that she plays within her game.
Gino Auriemma is going to send the teams to the bench because he thinks that that rebound was out of bounds off of Xavier.
And so Coach Auriemma challenged the out of bounds, and it is given to the Huskies.
They overturned it to UConn. That one has stupefied us, Ice. We're going to have to figure out how they could have come to that decision. Arnold sets up strong, 6 on the timer, pulled up Jay, rebound Noel. Canerva thought about it.
Yeah, I thought she should have shot it. Thought she was open. It was a nice driving kick by Noel.
Billy Chambers probably agreed. She wants Canerva to hunt her shot a lot more.
Well, because she's a pass first point guard, loves to facilitate, but in that she also has a skill set that can score.
Naismith has been doing it inside, trying to step outside. Offensive rebound nearly corralled by Oborilova, and she fumbles it out to Connecticut. Bud looking for Strong. Goes back up top for Arnold. Williams posting. Gets the lob. Good feed from Strong. Williams' second effort goes down.
Strong finish from Sarah Williams. And a great job to stay on the ball. Missed the first one, got her own rebound.
29-point lead for the Huskies. Gino Oriema was still frustrated not to get a foul. Maya Smith, tough hook over Williams, and the foul is called at this end. But that's something that Oriema has talked about, especially after UConn's 18-point lead at the half against Michigan last Friday nearly evaporated on them. He was emphasizing in practice this week, playing hard, bringing out that same energy in the second half, even with a big halftime lead.
Yeah, definitely the best test of this season so far was their win over number 6 Michigan, and an 18-point game at the half. But you watch the game in those last few minutes, and Silas Swartz hits 3 threes in a row, and then it became a 3-point game, and felt like it was a great game for both teams. Coach Oriema said, he said it was a great game for us because it challenged them to really finish the game, to finish with details, getting rebounds, knocking down free throws, and then securing a turnover at the end of that game. Too many times in a UConn season where they're up 18 at the half and they finish the game up 30. And Coach Oriema really appreciated that Michigan fought back, and it gave his team an opportunity to learn.
It was a 24-point halftime lead for the Huskies today. It's up to 28 in the early minutes of the third quarter. That foul, by the way, was the third on Sarah Williams, but she stays in. She gets the bucket. Count it plus a foul. 30-point advantage for Connecticut, the largest today.
And this is an area of Sarah Williams' game that I believe has grown since she's been at Connecticut, is attacking off the bounce, fakes the handoff, cuts the angle, and then a strong finish. And it's so great to see your 5-player, your post player, being able to put the ball on the floor and be assertive. Williams, a transfer from Wisconsin, one of the best post players in the country last year, but I felt like last year she was good. This year she's UConn good. She's really improved her footwork, really improved shooting the ball quickly in the lane. And she's going to be critical to UConn's success down the stretch.
Offensive foul on Naismith taken by Sarah Strong. We talked about it in the first half. When your best players put their bodies on the line, Noel did it for Xavier. Strong answers for UConn.
Yeah, just sliding her feet, trying to beat the offense to the sideline. So much high praise you can say about Sarah Strong. Almost every element of the game, she is superb.
Thought about showing you her range there. 6 and 5 on the timer. Sarah Strong to the rack. Williams the offensive rebound, stripped and corralled by Givens.
Yeah, good block by Givens.
She loses it. KK Arnold lays it up and in. Arnold had a big old grin on her face, even as she was on her backside on the court. Jang off the mark, nearly banked it home.
Yeah, because Arnold, I'm telling you, she lights up when she's able to play defense. Literally, you feel like you can see the grin over her face. And this is Connecticut just being opportunistic, putting 2 on the ball, seeing if Givens can handle the pressure. KK, the deflection, and the finish.
Look at her look right at the bench, too, and try to use the moment to get them going.
And that's part of that leadership, right, that we talked about, that a season after losing Paige Beckers, who was loud in every way, as Coach Oriema describes her, a nice knockdown outside shot from Canerva.
And how about the assist from the true freshman Penda Zhang, who was on the seat of her pants. Fouled away for the ball called against Arnold.
I believe that's the second time Givens has drawn one of those charges.
Stolen by Ashlyn Shane. She had 14 in the first half. She's denied on the chase down by Mackenzie Givens. The Cincinnati kid says no.
I love this from Mackenzie Givens. The steal, but what do? Not give up on the play, because it still matters. Givens with the swat.
Good feed by Strong. Williams muscles to the rim, and she's fouled. It's a good point you make about how it still matters.
And then watch Ashley Shade here, kind of gives a couple of shrugs, like it's okay, it happens. Can't be embarrassed.
I wonder if both coaches are giving a similar message in this second half to their teams, obviously from different perspectives. Every play still matters.
I mean, it's early in the season. Both teams have only played 6 games, so you are still perfecting your offense, working on the details, trying to get better in every way. I think it's valuable minutes for both teams.
Williams putting together a nice showing. Oriema said he wanted to get her more minutes, more touches. Felt like some opponents have tried to force them into playing small early this year. He wants to resist that. Strong ahead of the pack. Strong, tough catch and finish.
How about the pass from Arnold?
.23 advantage off turnovers for Connecticut. Naya Smith fumbles. Williams on the floor. And a timeout taken by Billy Chambers and the Musketeers. Answered by Jeep, there's only one. And there's another steal. Strong right on cue. Strong into Canerva. Yes, plus a foul.
Sarah Strong is so deceiving because she makes this look so easy. But in fact, it's not. Out in the open floor, and then just squares up her body, squares up her shoulders. Ever so composed. Finishes in the paint.
First free throws today for Strong. 88% on the year. You mentioned it earlier. Tough to find a more well-rounded player in the country. In fact, I think impossible.
Yeah, I think she's the next Maya Moore. And I don't think I say that about anybody, really. But to me, that is the DNA that she has in her, to be one of the great players that can score at all 3 levels, that help teams win championships.
Jane cut off by Williams. She's in trouble and turns it over to Strong, who goes behind her back right away in transition. Bounce pass stolen by Noel.
Good hands by Noel to anticipate the bounce pass.
Noel to the rack. She is fouled.
And she took it right at Sarah Strong. The player that gets to the free throw line a little bit more than 6 times a game, and you see off the defense, met with contact in the paint. I appreciate how hard Mariah Noel plays. She does not take plays off, and this is a player who transferred from Ole Miss, was dealing with some injuries in the offseason, so she didn't really have a ton of time to work with the team, work with the system, figure out and adjust. It was more so on getting her body to be 100% and building her body back up. So she's still getting her wind and her agility back, but this team asked her to do so much offensively. Score, facilitate, rebound.
6 points for Noel, all at the foul line. She still does not have a field goal. First touch for Jenna El-Alfi, redshirt sophomore from Cairo, Egypt, just in for UConn for the first time. You know, we have players from 5 different continents on these rosters.
Wow. Continents, that's impressive.
Asia and Antarctica, the only ones missing. I don't know if we're going to get a Penguin in college basketball anytime soon, so we got to take what we can get. El-Alfi right at the free throw line, misses the first. She's 2 out of 4 now at the line this year. Played for the Egyptian national team since 2021. Her dad is the head coach. And he's having to stay up late in Cairo to catch this one. It's just about 11 o'clock local time there.
Everyone loves a coach's kid. If I talk to any coaches across the country, there's something that they normally highlight about their players is if someone is a coach's kid. They just think, they know the game a little bit better, or they can make adjustments a little bit better because they've seen it up close and firsthand.
Skip pass. Triple. Ziabell.
Yeah, I could see that coming. Skip pass, Ziabell wide open. And a couple feet beyond the three-point line, showing her range.
Foul underneath. That's the 12th three-pointer for UConn. Matches the season high for the Huskies, set of the Ohio State win.
See, just a nice skip by Strong. And Ziabell really forces the defense to close out. Knocks down the triple.
Second three-pointer for Ziabell. Strong, by the way, we mentioned how well-rounded she is. 12 points, 6 rebounds. That was her 6th assist and 5 steals.
Yeah, that's like a light day for her. I'm telling you, she just fills up the stat sheet. Leads this team in every category other than scoring. AZ Fudd is the leading scorer, but Strong leads them in rebounds, steals, blocks, and assists. As a sophomore.
Noel splits the pair. Xavier tracks down the offensive rebound. Morolova, too strong. Noel in there, but it's tapped out to Heckel. Strong, 4-on-3. Sets up Ziabell. One more time. A season-high 13 three-pointers for the Huskies.
Just gorgeous offense. Everyone flowing and running their lanes, and Ziabell did a great job spotting up in that corner, stretching the defense.
Noel looking for her first field goal. Can't get it. El Alfie the rebound.
A nifty take, though.
Ziabell again. 3 in a row. 13 points for Ziabell.
KK Arnold going crazy over there for her teammate. Ziabell is hot.
And Strong, easy as you like with a steal. Coasts in for another 2. Connecticut stretching out the lead. 46-point advantage for the Huskies. And a foul on Strong. UConn is over the limit, so 2 free throws coming for Naismith, who was going to check out of the game, but will now have to stay in. Strong indeed will sit down. She has 8 assists now after those 2 feeds to Ziabell, so she's certainly on double-double watch, maybe even triple-double watch. 14, 6, and 8 right now, plus the 6 steals.
Man. Just an all-around talent. Gets it from her mama, former UConn Husky, Allison Feaster.
Don't forget about that. Number 14 Tennessee, number 3 UCLA coming up next from Pauley Pavilion. That is going to be a treat.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. UCLA had a nice bounce-back win after dropping one to Texas. Beat Duke by a really significant margin. But Tennessee brings that defense that is stifling. Should be a very fun, attractive game.
Ziabell was hunting the basketball, couldn't get the layup. Quinones kick out, Ziabell for 3. They're all going down. Ziabell owns the 3rd quarter.
And she finally cracks a smile. I thought after her 3rd one she was going to give a little smirk, but she stayed stone cold. This time cracks a smile.
16 points for Ziabell, 1 off her career high, which was set against Xavier in January. She loves the Musketeers. They don't love her back.
No, they don't.
She hit 5 threes in that game. She has 5 today. Shot clock running down. Noel with 2. Has to hoist. Noel did not get it off. Turnover number 28 for Xavier.
And that's the tough thing about playing against the Huskies is once you feel like maybe you figured it out just a little bit and gotten a couple of good possessions offensively like this team did in the 2nd quarter, UConn turns it up. They make adjustments, and Xavier has struggled to find some good offense in this quarter.
Here's Caroline Ducharme getting her first minute. Shovels back to Heckel. Off the mark. Rebounded by Lucia Martinez-Lopez, the sophomore Spaniard. Noel drives on Ducharme, gets into El Alfie, and more free throws coming for Mariah Noel.
Fouls on UConn's number 8, Jen Alfie is her second.
One of the things Billy Chambers talked to us about was the inconsistency that has presented itself early this year for Xavier. Part of the reason that they had those 2 losses to Dayton and Kent State, both games she thought the Musketeers could have won. And I feel like we've seen that. Obviously, you're not going to face many defenses in the Big East that harass you the way that UConn does. But at the same time, Xavier has been stagnant on the offensive end at times, which Billy Chambers said is her biggest concern right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's just still so early in the season in which you're trying to get different pieces to gel. Canerva, Noel. But really, she feels like this team has the ability sometimes to get 20 assists in a game and share the basketball at a high clip, and then other games, a little bit more one-on-one, a little bit more putting the ball on the ground. But again, just trying to build that consistency in how they want to win. That identity piece is what a lot of teams are trying to figure out in the non-conference. And that's how you build your schedule. Oh, good pass.
Ducharme feeds El Alfie, layup wouldn't go. Heckel for 3. That one's good.
Offensive rebound, kick out 3. And Ducharme, you can see her activity early on the boards.
Xavier could hold for the final shot of the quarter. Noel goes early, can't get it. Rebound Heckel. UConn has 12 seconds. Ziabell thought about it. Heckel with 5. El Alfie with 3. El Alfie on Noel to the rim. No! Follow after the horn does not count from Quinones. And Mariah Noel is down by El Alfie. For the purposes of the game, the officials went back and said the foul on Noel happened with 0.6 of a second left on the clock. So we are still in the 3rd quarter after all of that. And El Alfie has 1 more free throw. Both miss, and that now is officially the end of the 3rd quarter. Ice Young, I promise you, it's over this time. 3rd quarter is over. Gino Auriemma and the Huskies have a 48-point advantage. We're going to the 4th for real this time. Stay with us on FS1.
Been a good week of hoops for Thanksgiving.
I want to walk you through a couple of those because we have 10 minutes here to squeeze as much water out of the ice as we can. Is that a thing? I was reaching for that one.
Water out of the ice. I like it, Nate. I like it.
Canerva misses the layup underneath. Tango for it. And El Alfie pulls it away. It's a tie-up, and the alternating possession favors Connecticut. Let's start with Texas. Rory Harmon got a lot of those headlines. You get a look back at the physical rebounding underneath. We've been talking a lot about Fudd and Strong. There are other big names. I'm not saying Rory Harmon is the best player in the country, but is there an argument that she's among the most important?
Yeah, I heard Vic Schaefer say post-game interview that she is the best point guard in the country. And from a defensive standpoint, she is one of the best. I mean, an all-defensive player in this country, turns the ball over, plays with that speed and physicality. And then I was really impressed with, I mean, their 2 top 3 wins. They did it in different ways. Versus UCLA, Rory Harmon had 26 points. I mean, was the bucket getter and scored and got to her spots. And then against South Carolina, 9 assists, plus the game winner in that game. So she's certainly very versatile, gets to her pull-up on a dime. I like Rory's game, and I think the question for her at the next level is her size that much of a factor, right? Only 5'5", 5'6", but in terms of her ability of what she can do on the court, I think she could be a good point guard at the next level. And definitely someone that we're not talking about enough. She also now is the all-time assist leader at Texas, which she's played a couple extra years because of COVID and some injuries, but nevertheless, that's a wealth of basketball history that the Longhorns have.
Blanca Quinones hits the 3. That's the 17th made 3-pointer for Connecticut today. Now 1 off the single-game Huskies record. They played more than 1,600 games. Canerva, contested 3, too strong. Weak side rebound snatched by Givens. Gibbons has been quiet in the second half. Sets up Canerva off the front rim. It nearly went down. Another offensive rebound. Third chance for the Musketeers. Canerva, why not? 0 for 3 on that possession, and Ducharme finally clears the glass. Quinones, beautiful reverse, wouldn't go down. Rebound out of bounds off of El Alfi.
That was a gorgeous take by Quinones. Not able to finish, but going across the lane and trying to finish with the right. Very, very nifty.
Talking about those Thanksgiving break teams that we highlighted there, LSU, not taking anything away for the 8 100-point games. An NCAA record is exactly that. But it hasn't been against the stiffest competition. They have Duke next. Out of the corner, Canerva off the mark. UConn has it. Obviously, Duke is not where they've been in the last few years, but still a much better defense than what LSU has faced recently. Quinones, too strong. Offensive rebound, Ziabell.
I would certainly agree with that. I mean, the thing about LSU is there is just so much firepower, especially amongst their guards, right? Lajay Johnson, Elijah Fuwiley, Kayla Williams, and company. But I'm excited to see their challenge against Duke. And it's a Duke team that started the season in the top 10, dropped a couple games against ranked and unranked opponents, and trying to figure it out before they enter ACC play.
Martinez Lopez out of the short corner, rebounds Ziabell. She's 1 point shy of a career high. Had not been in double figures the first 5 games of the year. She's scored 10 and now 16 in back-to-back games. El Alfi leans in, and a late whistle and a foul.
Yeah, something we haven't talked about yet is the depth of the Huskies. And you know, early in the season, whether games are challenging or not, Coach Auriemma loves to play, you know, those top 6 or 7. As El Alfi here was trying to create some space in the paint. But they seriously have another 5, maybe 6 players that they can really use off the bench. We're seeing the shooting from Ziabell today. Her knocking down shots. El Alfi was a huge critical success to their championship a year ago. Kaylee Heckel, the transfer from USC that they call K9, down with the defense. And then Caroline Ducharme, again, who's been a player that struggled with injuries throughout her career, but has played and been a major contributor.
Canerva, extra pass. Young's 3 too strong. The rebound batted out of bounds by Martinez Lopez.
Check out the Xavier with 12 hits and hits. For UConn, the third quarter pass. And 7,
Khalees Fisher, true freshman from Baltimore, in for the first time. She's fouled in the backcourt. Preseason Big East Freshman of the Year. Not gotten a lot of playing time yet. Number 25 recruit in the country out of IMG Academy.
Yeah, she's an electric guard. I had the chance to cover her a bit in high school on the Under Armour circuit, and has been committed to the Huskies since 8th grade. So she knew what the standard was, kept her game at that level.
Heckel, pretty jumper, rims off. Xavier trying to stay engaged at the offensive end, but that stagnation showing for the Musketeers again. Gibbons, step back. Off the backboard, rebounded by Quinones. Underneath, looking for Ayanna Patterson off the double clutch. Block shot back into her hands. Heckel, kick out to tie the record, off from Ducharme. Rebound chased down to the quarter by Fisher. She gets to the rim. Look at that. Pretty move on the layup.
What I say, electric.
Other end, Gibbons can't convert. And Heckel will bring it back. You had a chance to visit with Gino Auriemma at shoot-around this morning, but he wasn't the only head coach to stop by, was he?
Yeah, very cool to see Richard Pitino, head coach of Xavier men's basketball, stop by to see Gino and them two chatting it up. Obviously, Richard, the son of Rick Pitino.
Champions Classic at Barclays Center in Brooklyn. Kaylee Heckel ties the program record with 18 threes in one game. If you want to see more of that against Iowa, head to Ticketmaster.com and use promo code TURKEY for 30% off through Cyber Monday for UConn and Iowa. That's coming up December 20th in Brooklyn. And if you can't make it to the game, it'll be right here on Fox. Young from the corner. Xavier's first points of the fourth quarter. They took 6 minutes.
And Audia Young, a player that Billy Chambers said can really knock down shots from the outside. They like to get her going a bit more early in the season.
Fisher to a rolling Patterson, lays it up and in. Ayanna Patterson out 960 days after back-to-back season-ending injuries before she returned earlier this month. So great to see her back on the floor.
Yeah, so great. Huskies working on their zone a bit here.
Young, floater no, rebound Heckel. Fisher comes to get it. Heckel wants another. Just too strong. Patterson was standing out of bounds, tried to reestablish in time to get the offensive rebound. The officials did not go for it.
Tell you what, though, it's a good sign for Heckel. First game this season that she's hit multiple threes. And in talking to Coach Oriema about her before the game, he was saying this is the only of her game that she's in her head with. She's 1 of 11 from 3 coming into this game, and he told her, focus on all the great things you're doing. Focus on the defense and the presence that you bring to us offensively, but it's certainly good to see her knock down shots from the outside.
Inside Jang, turns and misses. Heckel another rebound. 18 made threes for Connecticut in this game. Third time they've done it in program history. Fisher finds Patterson. She is fouled. They made 18 against Syracuse in January of 2009. Cover your ears on that one, Ice. And then at UC Davis in November of 2014. Ice, there's one other thing we have to mention. Kaz Beverly is one of our 3 officials in this game. His aunt, Connie Ursula, turns 93 years old today, and she is locked in on this game. We promised Mr. Beverly that we would give a shout out to Aunt Connie, and she deserves it. 93 years young.
Happy birthday, Aunt Connie. 93, what a blessing.
Audia Young, Euro, stripped by Deshawn. And the UConn bench is celebrating a substitution. You love to see the energy that they give each other. Danny Malumamel, freshman, 6'5" center, out of Ireland, 42 in blue, the last healthy Husky to touch the floor. Shot clock runs out. Another Xavier turnover. Number 31 in the game. That's been, unfortunately, a major story for the Musketeers.
Yeah, definitely frustrating, but I think there are definitely some bright spots that Billy Chambers is going to look back and identify. Some good minutes in the first half from this team. Oh, a sweet pull-up on a free throw line from Fisher.
Not a lot of minutes yet so far for the freshman Fisher, but boy, can you see the potential.
Yeah, and who she gets to learn from as well, right? It's sometimes okay when you're a freshman, you're not getting high minutes, but you get to learn from AZ Fudd. You get to learn from KK Arnold. You get to learn with Sarah Strong. It's not an old Huskies team. Definitely dominated by sophomores and juniors.
Heckel pulls up. Rebound corralled by Fisher. Tackle running a little clock. Skip pass Fisher. Drives baseline. Underneath. Beautiful bounce pass feed. And the bucket goes down for the freshman Ziabell.
Nice drop off from Fisher. I tell you what, Ziabell has size. 6'5", a great frame. Can see the rawness a bit, but that won't last for long under Gino Auriemma.
First collegiate points for Ziabell on her first UConn field goal attempt. Foul on the rebound against Xavier.
And that's what I meant earlier by, despite the score, minutes are still important, right?
See a couple of games coming up. FS1 and Fox, DePaul and USC. In fact, there are 4 remaining non-conference ranked opponents on UConn's schedule. All 4 games you can see on Fox. That's all you need.
Yeah, that's what you need. You need to challenge yourself. See different teams that play different styles. I like that matchup coming up with USC in a few weeks. Jazzy Davidson, lefty freshman, is nice. I mean, nice. First of all, it would have been very scary for the world if Juju Watkins did not get hurt and USC had back-to-back Juju Watkins and Jazzy Davidson, 2 of the top recruited players in the country. And then another coming in next year, Sanaya Hall, the #1 overall player, also going to USC. So Lindsey Gottlieb said it's not just Juju. We can bring in a lot.
Upcoming schedule for Xavier, including the rivalry matchup against Cincinnati on the road. And you would think Jazzy Davidson has the UConn game circled on her calendar as well, because South Carolina is the only team that's made her look mortal so far this year. She is going to want to prove what she can do against the marquee opponent.
Absolutely, and only a freshman. So South Carolina, a tough test for anyone, but especially as a freshman. But she's bright. I like her game. Long, smooth, nice lefty shooter.
That's all from Cincinnati. Gino Auriemma and #1 Connecticut open Big East play, as they so often do, with a 65-point rout of the Xavier Musketeers.